It's 10 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is a regular Commissioners Court meeting for County of Starr, Monday, November 26th. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for being here. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Let the record show we do have quorum, everyone being present. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we go with our regular agenda, I believe there's a presentation by Ms. Starr County.
Yes, we have Ms. Starr County here today.
Okay, I think she's getting her crown fixed.
Ms. Patsy Ramirez was supposed to be here to introduce her, but she couldn't be here today. So she sent something for you all to hear. It says, good morning, Idani will be there. We crowned her on November the 4th. She did an outstanding job in presenting herself. We are so proud of her. Thank you, and we know she will represent you well. This is from Ms. Patsy Ramirez, who was one of the pageant organizers.
Okay. Idani, you want to speak at the podium? Okay.
Do I talk into the mic?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Idani Cantu, and I am very happy to represent Starr County.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today, Mika. It's an honor for us to have you here. And I know you will do an outstanding job representing us wherever you go. And we thank you because it does take away from your time and everything. So if there's anything that the court can do for you, let us know. And certainly you're representing us, so we're here to help you.
Okay, thank you.
And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
work.
Can we take a picture?
Sure.
I don't know if y'all want to come down or you can stand there.
Good. Okay. Or you all want to get down?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. You just don't move. We'll take the picture and then you can get it out. One, two, three. One, two, three. And this comment will be the last one. One, two.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lord. And nice meeting you.
The next thing, if it's okay with the court, I'd like to see if we could go into executive session first. There's some things I think we need to discuss before we can cover them out in open session. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
I just want you.
Second, Your Honor.
Moved in second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will call you in as we need you. The court will go in by itself, and then we'll call you in as we need to. Okay? Thank you all very much. Okay, it's 10:30 and we're back in open session. I guess first item is approval of claims. Mr. Carter, they were?
Yes, sir. The claims have all been reviewed in their order.
Second, Your Honor.
Moved in second. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. If it's okay with the court, we'll go to item, which one? Item 11, and this is on the proposal by Mr. Rutledge and Associates for management consulting work for Starr County. Mr. Rutledge, you want to go ahead and take the podium and identify yourself for the record?
For the record, my name is Hollis Rutledge.
I'm with Hollis, Rutledge and Associates, Inc. What I have disseminated to the court is a profile of the company and the personnel that we have and the services we provide for your review and consideration. We've been around for about 26 years. We have a combination of in excess of 100 years in experience combined with all of the staff that we have relative to state, federal, and foundation funding sources. Depending on the priorities that the Commissioners Court and the county may have relative to any county functions or county projects that would be directed by this court to us to assist in whatever project that you may identify that we may want to pursue on behalf of the county and the taxpayers. In the packet, you will see the profile of the personnel and our proposal. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to entertain them at this particular point in time.
Okay, I guess, just for clarification, these services are to help us out both at the state level, federal level, and
Foundation money, because there is
just
some
wherever we can
foundation
get
money.
any money.
Exactly. Depending on the type of priorities that the Commissioners Court would like to pursue relative to projects, that we can then research for you and then identify the funding sources that might be available to be able to apply for those funds. They come in cycles, of course, to address those issues that you might have at the Commissioners Court level.
The other thing that you mentioned when we met a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, or a week or so ago, was that you would also help us in the management of the grants, or is that correct?
In a lot of cases, Commissioner or Judge, is that in our particular case, we're familiar with all of the rules and regulations, and at the end of the day, sometimes these funding sources are on a rotating basis every year, and you almost need to make sure that you meet all of the assurances and the criteria set forth by the federal government agencies and state agencies. And in that particular case, not only do we research the grant opportunities depending on your project, not only do we actually write the grant, but if we are successful in obtaining the grant, we administer the grant for the county to make sure that at the end of the day, there's no audit findings or compliance issues relative to the administration of those funds, because a lot of these communities sometimes fail to either report the appropriate reports that are necessary or assurances, and then when they go back to the well to try to maybe obtain some monies from the same agency, they look at that. They want to make sure that if this particular entity has previous experience in getting a grant, that we have the capability of administering the grant in accordance to their rules and regulations.
Any other questions?
When we approve this, Mr. Rudge, you will get together with each commissioner and see what we got in mind or what we want to look for?
Absolutely, Commissioner. You're the client, you're the commissioners, and whenever there's a need for us to meet individually or collectively, we're obviously available to do that. We're here in Mission, so that would not be a problem. And in fact, we would want to do that. We probably from time to time need to have even a workshop from time to time relative to some of these projects that you might be identifying over the course of the next year. But your answer is correct.
Yeah, because on this particular, especially on the drainage project, I think each commissioner has their own drainage problems that we would like to address directly with you, so you can see what we got and what we plan to do and what do we need to apply for.
That is correct, Commissioner. We would like to have some interaction. We have to, in order to be able to understand the issues that you're confronting in your particular case, and maybe a field review of what some of the issues are. And then also, we probably would need to work in tandem with your engineers and your legal counsel relative to some of these projects. But we're available to do that because we have to, in order to be able to understand what projects and what that would entail specifically, because we have to justify it to the federal agency or the state agency, and we have to have a comprehensive understanding of what those issues are.
Any other questions?
We can also work, for example, expansion of sewer system with the city of Rio Grande, especially with the city of Rio Grande, right?
Yes, Commissioner. In as part of our team, we now have Paco Valentin, who was the immediate past state director for USDA Rural Development Agency, which is very familiar with your community. But the answer is correct. We try to help the city with their water, their wastewater, their parks. We even did an EDA grant recently where we're developing a shopping center here in town. And we were able to obtain, what was it, Frank? 1.5? 1.4 million in grant money to place the infrastructure that was needed to be able to entice the developer as part of the deal to bring them to town and be able to generate jobs and sales tax and things of that nature. And by the way, for the record, I have here Frank San Martin, who is our coordinator for grants in our firm and one of our partners, and he's been with us for several years now, and he would be the one that kind of coordinates with the rest of our staff all of the grants that we may need to be applying for, and he would be part of the people that we would bring forth to the Commissioners Court and each individual commissioner, if need be, to understand your particular issues and projects.
Any other questions, comments?
No questions. I'd like to make the motion for the proposal.
I second, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a motion, a second for the proposals.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I second, Your Honor.
Okay, and I just wanted for clarification, what this contract is a contract for 1 year with a monthly retainer of $3,000, and that would, as we heard, that would encompass that we get support both in state, federal, and other sources on grants. The $3,000 is for their time in research development, and anything over the 500 will be itemized that are not retained. This is for expenses that occur that are not part of the retainage, and the payment is monthly. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner. And we do not and we will not incur any additional expenses unless there's approval by this Commissioner's Court before we take on that trip or whatever it may be.
Okay. I do have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for your vote of confidence, and we will be in touch with you this week, and maybe we can start the dialogue that was suggested by Commissioner Eloy Garza immediately, so we can understand some of the issues that you are confronted with at this time.
Thank you very much, Hans.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess now we can go back to our regular agenda. Item 5 is an action item, and this is to approve the new vendors list. Mr. Carter.
Yes, Judge, there's only one new vendor on the list this time, and the documentation has been reviewed, and it is in order.
I move we approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is an action item, and this is a donation in the amount of $877 from Mr. Orlando Rocha to the Starr County Precinct 4.
This is my item, this gentleman wishes to donate the money for the food pantry. Let's make a motion to accept.
Second motion, Your
Moved and second. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Honor. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is also an action item, and this is to request a loan from general fund to pay PO 111182 LDL Construction in the amount of $10,425. This is on a reimbursement basis. We'll pay and then we'll be reimbursed. Is that
That
correct?
is correct, Judge. The money is ready to be sent, but since the audit's not complete, they're keeping our reimbursements until the audit is complete.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is to amend the existing engineering contract between Starr County and Rio Delta, prime contractor for engineering services, to prepare preliminary and final plans for the TCDD block grant 2017-18 to include Terracon as a subcontractor for Geotech.
That is
Yes.
correct. We're just to add Terracon as subcontractor.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Second, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve it?
To approve.
Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9 is an action item, and this is to approve the attached notice of redemption to the Starr County Tax Combination Tax Limited Pledge Revenue Certificate Obligations. Oh, this is the 2004 this grant obligation that we have. Mr. Carter?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, agenda items 9 and 10 are related. Number 9 is the notice of redemption to the holders of the bonds. This is required by the terms of the bond itself, that the holders be notified of our intent to pay off or redeem these bonds. And this is, the form in your package is the officially prescribed form of that notice. It was prepared by our bond counsel on the matter. And then the next item is a resolution which the paying agent bank requires to handle this transaction for us. So they're all related to the same matter.
You have to pay the bonds off, right?
To pay off
Second.
2004. Moved and second to approve. That'd be both items,
Item 9 and 10.
9 and 10. Second, 9 and 10. Discussion? Under discussion, Mr. Carter, what, did you check about that other loan that we have with the bank? If we could use this money to pay that? Haven't had a chance?
I don't have a final,
Okay.
have a final response.
Well, we got time.
I will follow up with you on that.
Okay. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12 is an action item to approve a renewal of contract between RICO and Starr County Clerk's Office. I guess this is a copier?
Yes, Judge, it's almost the same, we're almost up at the end of at the beginning of December for the contract that we're currently in. It's just to renew, get some new equipment, and it's about $12 savings a month.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second motion, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, also an action item, and this is to approve preliminary approval of Coyote Den subdivision. Mr. Garcia.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
At this time, I would like to present for preliminary approval for the Coyote Den subdivision. It's in Commissioner Garza's precinct. It's towards La Victoria.
Yes, we had discussed this with Mr. Garcia. I don't have no problem with it. The only thing that and it's not only for this gentleman here, but everybody, for the near future, I think we need to demand that I see that, there's no use to do a preliminary plat when they don't have a water commitment by the water entity, which according to the specs right now, you don't need it, but there's no use for telling somebody, go ahead and do your preliminary plat, do the construction, and then they don't get any water in the future, they go out and we don't have water to sell you. But at this time, I'd like to move that we approve this plat, and for the near future, I think we need everybody that's going to apply for preliminary to have the water agreement in place as a requirement. That's my opinion.
Okay, so your motion is
Second motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve with that caveat, and I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think there's a single developer that wants to spend a penny and not be able to get anything in return. So, they need to understand completely that unless everything is met in the final, whatever monies they spend is at their risk. They might not be able to sell a single lot if we cannot get the water, if we cannot get the power, if we cannot get the paving, we cannot get whatever is required must be done before the final.
Yeah,
is
but I
approved.
think we need to amend the model rules and get you to require that a specific item. Right now, with the start in place, so we have to go with it. But for the near future, whoever comes in, I recommend that we require the water agreement service with the
In the
water
preliminary-
entity.
and for preliminary approval.
Yeah.
I agree with
By
that
this
too,
time,
because
I just
the way it is
approve
now.
this percent.
Second motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion
Thank you,
carries. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Item 14 is an action item, and this is to approve compensation to election workers for the recount of November 6th. Anyone here to present that? Okay, I
Motion
think
to,
we,
No, I think que lo
que, bueno,
podemos-
lo más que les paguen a los que trabajaron.
see, we need to pay now.
Second
They-
motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve and I have a second. Under discussion, the people that asked for the recount pay the county, I believe, or it's a
They pay the
county.
county and then they,
Yeah.
And then from there, we pay them.
okay.
However, this is not part of this, but I'll go ahead and include it. There is an overrun this year because of all the different things that we had the hurdles that we need to jump. For example, the signature verification committee, that was not budgeted. So when the candidates ask for that, that's an expense that we incur that we didn't have. So when it's all said and done, we're going to end up in the red in the elections. One of the problems is that money had been assigned to the elections department, and they have no money from which to make budget amendments. Before, I had that money assigned in the general fund, and that was easier because I could move monies within the budget to make up for those unforeseen expenses. So this year, we have a hurdle that we need to get over, but I'm sure we will. Monday?
Not much.
Around 10,000, I think.
That could change.
25
Oh, no,
divided by 4.
no, put it in general fund.
Okay, I do have a motion, and a second. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15 is to approve certification of revenues. Mr. Carter? Mr. Carter.
Yes, Your Honor. Judge and Commissioners, this is a certification of revenue that was requested by the district attorney. I am proposing to certify $25,000 in the district attorney state forfeiture fund that has not been previously budgeted. The district attorney has proposed to use that money, $10,000 for construction and storage cost, and $15,000 in the miscellaneous, in his miscellaneous line item for that, for the forfeiture fund budget. Everything is in order. The money is in the bank. It was just not.
I move that we approve the
previously
certification as
requested.
presented, Your Honor.
Second motion.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That was item 15 and 16 both, right?
Yes.
One
Okay.
is certification of revenue, and the other one is the actual budget correction, so it's related, everything is the same,
Okay.
it's the same transaction.
What's your
My
motion?
motion for both, then.
Second.
Second for both? Okay. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 17 is a budget amendment. Is that in order, Ms. Carter? The budget amendment?
The budget amendment from the sheriff's department is in order.
Not to pass.
Second motion, Your Honor.
Moved and second to pass. Second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And it is now 5 till 11, and pursuant to section 551.074, we will go into executive session to discuss order of salaries. It's 11:10, and we're back in open session. Under order of salaries, is there a motion to approve
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
as presented?
Second motion.
Moved and second to approve the order of salaries as presented. Discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.